So in this session, what we'll do is in the last session, we have already seen some properties like flex box, then Z index, then background image and positions. Isn't it? So those things are enough to create something like this. Okay, we'll try to create the layout of this page. Not everything, like we don't know how to do this animation. Can you see the map bar? It is having some animation on scroll, isn't it? So we'll not try to force to do all those things, but what we'll try to do is, are we able to create this map bar? Are we able to create this background image banner? How they are placing these icons side by side with equal space between them? Then text, this text part, can you see? It is divided into two parts, and some part is aligning to the top, some part is in the center. How these things are happening. Then we have these four numbers: clients, audits, outside support, hard workers, like that. Again, we have something like this. A big box is there, then we have three small boxes, and these are aligned to the center. So all these things can be possible using what? Flex. Okay. So let us not try to create the whole page all at once, but let us try to create each element. Let's say this thing, this mapper. First, let us try to create this. Then we move on to this image. Then we move on to this part, like that. Okay. So I had already created some part of this, but as we have not discussed each and every detail of this, let me remove this code and let us start from the beginning. Okay, index.html and index.css. This file also I'll remove it. Okay, fine. Now we have nothing on this page. I'll load this page. Let us start from the beginning. So, as I told you that day, if you remember, before going into these things, I was talking something about reset.css. Reset.css is a file. See, I have another file. I have index.html, index.css, and also reset.css. What is this reset.css doing? This reset.css is making or resetting some of the styles. What do you mean by resetting? When when we create our web page, we may face a lot of problems like H1 to H6. Most block level elements, not the div, but other block level elements, H1, H2, H3, H4, H5, H6, then paragraph. Okay. These kind of elements have some margin top, margin bottom. They always have some gap. If I am to remove the gap, again I have to apply margin 0. Okay. Like that. Again, let's say I want a big font size. But when I apply, what is the biggest font we have in HTML? Huh? Say H1, isn't it? But when I apply the H1, I can see that, okay, it is big, but it is not very big. So let's say I want something like this, or this text. Can you see this text? This text is bigger than H1. Okay. So how do I do that? So that's why what we have done, what reset.css file does is, so this file I didn't write, okay. I downloaded this file and I'm using it directly. So no need to think what is written here, but you should know what this file is doing. It is removing all the margins. It is making the font size of all elements to 100%. That means it becomes the default to 16px. Paragraph text is 16px. H1 is also become 16px. While using the H1, you will set whatever size you want. Let's say you want 40px, 50px, 60px, whatever. Okay. So all fonts will have equal size, no margin, no padding. Can you see? No margin, no padding, no border. Font size is vertical align baseline. Like that. UL OL is there, list style none. The dot is removed, bullet is removed, all those things. If you want bullet, you apply style. Okay, that's how this is to be done. But where do I get this reset.css? I go to Google and tell the reset CSS. I get a lot of websites. Here they are giving some definition what this file is doing and all those things. So we have one website called mayorweb.com. Okay, this was maybe probably the first CSS file, CSS reset file. Okay, and there are other websites also. My custom CSS reset, Siemens University CSS reset. You can go to any of them and you can download them. Okay, so I'll go with this web. This is the basic one, very basic. Less resetting in there. You just copy this code, copy up here, and paste it in a reset.css. That's it. Okay. Now the thing is, what we will do in our this reset.css is there, but we have to include this in our HTML file, isn't it? So what do we do? How do we link the external CSS file in? How do we link the external style sheet in our HTML page? In the head section. In the head, we have to write this link. Link RDL equal to style sheet. And how many external style sheets we have here? Hmm? Hmm? How many? I'm asking how many? Two. That means I have to link two files. Isn't it? So I create two files like this. Two links. I'm not creating files, I'm creating two links. No? Is there any problem in the order? Which one I should write first? First I have to link index or reset. Is there any problem? There is a problem. Okay. If I put the index.css first, what will happen? In the index.css, I am making, let's say, h1 size as 50 px. Okay, so if I, let's say, I write here index.css. And then I wrote reset.css. What will happen? Reset will again make the 50 px to 16 px. Okay, so that should not be done. Always the reset file should come first. Whatever styles you have in your page, reset should always be at first. Next, what should come? Index.css. Save it. Now we have to start writing them. Okay. So, what shall we start with in the page? What can we see? We'll start with the navbar. Okay. And how is the navbar floating? Because we have applied, we need to apply position. We saw position, relative, absolute, all those things, right? So we have to apply this. Okay. Fine. Let us now start. So for this navbar, we have to create a container. Okay. Container means just a div. Some box we have to create. Inside that box, we have to place the things. And then we will align it using the flex box. Okay. And there is a clear gap. Can you see from both sides? So that means they are setting the width of this navbar also. They are not, if I don't apply any width, the div will get 100% width. It will be 4 pages. But we don't want that. We want some gap. This thing is separate. This thing will not study now. What is happening here? When I scroll, it is getting 100% width. Okay. But that is on scroll. Again, for that, we need something else. So we'll see that later on, but let us try to first create this. Okay. So let me have a div. And to this div, I have to give a class so that we can apply the styles. So what class I will give? Class equal to, let's say, navbar. Okay. Inside the navbar, we have to put all that. Now, the moment we start using CSS, Flex, what we saw that then in Flex, we have a lot of properties like display Flex is the main property. Then we apply justify content center, justify content, space between, isn't it? Again, we have align item center. So we will have so many flex containers on this page. Every box will be a flex box, display flex, display flex. Why should we write again and again? What I'll do, for that I'll create, to minimize that process, I'll create a class. Not only one class, some common classes I will create, which I'll put it first in the index.css so that I can use it at any time. Okay. No. Fine. And also this font is little bit different. We won't get this font by default. By default, it is coming sometimes New Roman or something. It is having that Microsoft Word kind of font. Okay. So we need to do that. So how do we change the font of all the things in this page? Is there a selector? So if I want to apply font, if if I want to change the font of this text, what is this text? Let's say this is a H2. So I write H2 font family something or color white something. But is there any selector which we can use to apply it to the whole page? Every element. There is something called universal selector. That is known as the star. Okay. Using the star, if I apply some style, it will be applied to all the elements. Okay. So what I'll write here, I'll write it as, I'll give a comment. Okay. I'll give a comment so that we can know what is happening here. So let's say this is common styles. The common styles, what I have to do, I'll use this universal selector and I'll say I want font family. So this font family, I found out that it is having some names called railway. Okay, railway sans serif. That means this is not a serif font. Okay, fine. This is one style. And one more property we need. If you go to this called, if you go to, yeah, 1 second. Yeah. So what I'm saying is, if you go to our old tutorials like CSS about box model, there you will see some things like when we apply the when we apply padding to an element, it increases the width of the box. We have a box, there is no padding, some text is there. I apply padding, so padding will increase the gap between the border and the text. So box will become big. So this way box keeps on becoming big, but that is not what we want. Let's say I applied 100 px width to a box, but when I add padding, 100 is becoming 150, 140, 160 because paddings are coming. Left padding and right padding is coming. So left padding 20 px, right padding 20 px. 100 plus 20 plus 20 is becoming 140. So which is becoming, it is increasing. So for that, we have a property called a box sizing. So if you follow our old videos, our main CSS 7-hour video, there we will come to know that if we apply box sizing, border box, that thing will not happen. If I apply 100 px, it will always be 100 px only. Okay, there won't be any problem. Okay, fine. So these are the common styles for the time being. These only two things I'll apply as a common style. Now we will go for some. I almost forgot about it. Flex. I told you, right? So for flex, we'll have common styles. Flex, then it is called justify content. For all those things, I'll create classes. Okay. So let me create some classes like this. dot d hyphen flex. This means display flex. So instead of d flex, you can write anything. You can write only flex also, your wish. Okay, I'm just giving something. So that I will use this d flex again and again. I don't need to write the styles like that. Display flex in navbar also I am applying display flex. In banner also I am applying display flex. So no need to write again and again. So I'll create some classes. Then after display flex, we need justify content center. We need justify content space between. So two classes, two more classes I'll apply. Justify content center. So what this will do? So again, this class name is a variable. You can use anything. So the property is justify content center. Then next dot justify content. Let's say between. What is the meaning of between? Space between. Justify content space between. Okay. Then what we need? We need the align items class also. So that I will use it again and again. Align items center. The property is align items and the value is center. Okay, fine. So these are the common styles I want. And you have to observe the page. Do we have any more common styles? You can see here, we are having, in many places, we are having white color text. See, again here. Can we create a class for white color text? So what class I will create is at the top only. Okay. Dot text white. I'm giving some name. So what should I write for that? To make font color white, what should the style I have to write? Say, sorry. Do you know how to change the color of text? Have you used that font word to change the color? It is color, simply color. Okay, color white. Okay, fine. So we are done with common styles. These are the common styles. Now we'll have our main styles. What we'll use in our pages. So that I will name it as something called page styles or something. Okay? Now, so after this, I'll be writing all those styles. Fine. Now let us go to this. So here we have created a class navbar which will contain all those things. What are the things the navbar is containing? It is having some logo kind of thing here, green color. Okay, and then we have some list item, nav item, and then we have one button at the top. Last, get started. Some button. It may be login, it may be register, anything. Okay. So we need some kind this kind of structure. What we are doing here is we are dividing the whole navbar into two parts. Flex will be applied to the parent. It will have two parts. First part is first parent is that thing. Inside the parent, I am saying I'll have two parts. Can you identify the two parts from this image? Which one is the first thing? Is this still the first thing? No. Which one? Say. You're right. That that thing. This box will be the first part. Second part will be this whole thing. Whatever is this nav bar, this button, everything will become the second part. Okay. The moment I apply display flex, this whole things will come to the left side. Then I'll apply justify content space between. Automatically, space will be created. Okay. So let us try to do. So inside the nav bar, we need that logo, and then so I need two boxes, right? If navbar has the flex display flex property, we need two containers. So I'll create two divs. Okay, fine. Then on this navbar, what do I have to apply? If it is a parent, we have to apply flex. So what is the class I created for flex? I created d hyphen flex. And then what do we need? Justify content, space between we want. So for that also I have created a class. What is the class name? Justify content between. So this class can be directly used here just after the deflex. Okay. Anything else we need? Align item center is also there. So what will happen here is if this box is having big height, this navbar may have less height. Okay. So if there is a height issue, the alignment will not be correct. So what I will apply? I will apply the align item center as. So align items center is the class. Okay, fine. The parent is ready. Now the children, two children, what we need to write there. So first div, first box, I'll name it as logo because it is having the logo. Okay, fine. And the next box, I need to give some name for them. So let's say I'll name it as something navigation. Okay, because this whole part is helping us to navigate. If I click on this, it should go to some other page, right? If I click on this, it will go to some other. If I click on get started again, it will get me to some get started page, registration page, something like that. Okay, so this I'm putting it in nav, and this is the logo. Now let us start with the logo. Inside the logo, what do I write? So inside the logo, we have only one text, nothing else. So I'll create one H1 and I'll write here A2 poly. Okay. But if I save this, what do I get? I get a text, just text. But what we want padding in this box, so that we will get this gap. Then we have to apply the background color to this box, some green color. And then we have to apply white color to this text white. I have created the class. And then I have to increase the font size also. Font size is coming default value. You have to increase the font size. So a lot of things we have to do. So without those things, it will not work. So that things will be applied to which element? This logo div. To this logo div, I have to apply the styles. So let us see what are the things I can apply. So to this text, what I can apply? To this text, I'll give a name, okay? Logo text. Then we can apply text white so that it will become white. Okay. Now let us see what we can do in that logo class. In the page styles, I write. One more thing. Where were we? This navbar. This navbar. That means what is the navbar? This whole container, this whole box. As we have seen here, it is not occupying whole width. It is occupying some percent only. Okay. And one more thing, when we are applying width, we normally apply something like 700 px, 800 px. Okay. For width, it is better you use percent values. Okay. So percent values, if we use, what will happen is it will never break in other devices. So let's say if I put 500 px here, if I open this in phone, it will be going out of the screen and we will scroll and see. But normally in phone, we don't do this kind of scroll, right? We only do vertical scroll. We don't do horizontal scroll. If it is having horizontal scroll, it is not user friendly. We don't find it easy to use, right? So that's why you should always use percent value. So let's say if this is whole thing is 100%, this can be maybe around 80 to 85%. Okay, so I'll apply some 85%. And one more thing, when you create any containers, you can't see how it is looking like. So what we can do, we can apply one border to check how it is looking like, where it is. Later on, we can remove the border. So I'll go to this thing. So navbar. So to this navbar, let us apply some styles. First thing is I want width as 85%, let's say. And then I want to see how it is looking like. So let's say border 1px solid black. Okay. Let us see now how it is looking like. It is looking like this. Where is the text gone? Can you tell me what happened to the text? Is the text there? Huh? No, the text is here actually. If you observe carefully, can you see this two gaps? This is the poly P and Y. Did we apply any color to the text? What is this? So the background is white, that's why the text is also white. So we are not able to see it. So that means we need to apply background color as well. So what is this color? Let us see. Some 009970 is there. Okay. We'll try to use that color on the which thing. You have to apply to the logo, not on the navbar. If you apply to the navbar, whole navbar will get green color. Okay. So what is that thing? Logo. Okay, we'll see that. No need to worry. But let me remove that thing first. Let me apply the padding gaps and all. Let me manage those things. Then we will go back to the thing. Okay, fine. So this is how it looks like. Now, now what is to be done? In the nav path, we need to apply anything more. Is this nav path creating any problem? So we need a gap from the top. What we will look for that? We need something, right? So those things can be done using position also, because this snap bar will be floating, and it will use Z index, will put position absolute, and will move out, and then we can apply it of some value and adjust it. Okay, so those things don't need to worry. Okay, fine. Now let us move on to the other things. So what will we now? What are the things we need? We have the logo text. So this logo text, we need to apply some things. So let us see. What is this logo text? What can be done here? Dot logo text. What can be applied here? So first thing is I want to increase the font size. Font size is very less. Let's say something like 26px. Then, and we need the gaps padding from all sides. Okay. Padding, how much do I apply? So padding, if I use two values, what is the meaning of two values? When I apply padding, 10px, 20px, what is the meaning? What is the meaning? If I write here 16px, 30px, what is the meaning? I have been two values. What for five column? 16px means for top and bottom. 30px means left and right. Okay, done. Then what else? We need a background color for the that thing. So background color. I copied some color. Yes, green color. So save it, go to the browser and the reload. We got something. Now we can apply the text white again. We got this. Okay, fine. Later on we'll remove this border. Now let it be there. Okay. Now the thing is how we place this in the center. Okay. So for that we need to apply something called margin left also, margin right. Both sides we have to apply margin only. Left and right. Top and bottom we don't need. Top and bottom we'll see when we use the position, we'll adjust it and place it. But left and right, I can apply the margin. Now, I don't need to write margin left or to margin right. In one line, I can write just like padding, what I did with padding. In padding, I don't like this. I could have written padding top, padding right, padding bottom, padding left also, but I didn't do that. Right? We wrote in one line. The same way, I'll do that for this one also. So margin for the nav bar will be from the top and bottom. Do I need anything? No. So I'll apply 0. Left and right, I want auto. Okay. Now save and go to the browser and reload. See, it has come to the center. Right? So these things we have to know when you create any kind of layer. Okay, fine. Now our logo is ready. That means in the flex container, the first thing is ready. The second thing is not ready. We have to think about this one. What we need to do. Okay, to the nav. Okay. Fine. So what is there inside the nav? Can you tell me? What is there inside the nav? How many elements are there? Hmm? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. So what it will have is actually it is two parts, maybe one list item and one button. You can separate like okay, because button is not like UL, so I should not include it there. So I can separate it here. Okay. Then so for that what we need to create, we have to again okay, may I know what auto does? So what is auto doing? Auto is taking or applying the remaining space as margin. Okay, if I don't apply, let's say I wrote margin left auto, what will happen? Everything will move to the right. The remaining whole space will be taken as margin. If I write apply only margin right auto, everything will move to the left. The whole right side will be taken as margin. That is what the meaning of auto is. Okay, fine. Now, now what I was talking about? Yeah, the nav bar. So here, what are the things we need inside the nav? Again, this nav will be a deflex, all the classes, same classes we need here also. Okay, so same thing shall apply here. But there is no justify content space between or something. We don't want. We want them to be together. Later on, we'll apply some margin in between. Otherwise, it will again come to the left side. Okay, so we don't want it. So I'll apply only deflex and align item center, vertical alignment. Okay. So in the name, I'll apply deflex and align items center. Okay, done. Inside this, what do I have? I'll have again two things. What are the two things? The list item and the button. So that means inside this div, I need two things again. One is the UL, and another one is the button. In the UL, when I write something, dots will come. It will come. But I have used the reset.css. Reset.css in UL and OL list style none is applied. So dot will automatically go. So we don't need to worry about the dots. Do I need dots in the navbar? No. But if I don't use this line, the dots will come. But reset is also helping us in this way. Okay. So that's why this reset.css is very important. Okay. Fine. Now inside this UL, we'll have inside UL what do we have? Forget about today's topic. Inside UL, what element we create? Align. Have to say that. So how many li we need? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Forget about this drop down. This is not needed now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Or maybe 6 we can put. No problem. Okay. So what do I write in all these things? Home, about, services, would you team and content? Okay, fine. This is how they are coming. And there's a button. In the button, what is written there? Get started. Get started. This is how they are doing. So what is happening to this li? Each li is coming one by one. If I want them side by side, say, huh? Display flex. So what is the, where should we apply the display flex? The parent of li. What is the parent of li? ul. So in the ul, I have to apply the, again, same things. Class is equal to object. So class is equal to, first we will always give a certain name before applying the classes. See, if you observe carefully what I am doing, before applying deflect, justify, content, all those things, I am giving a name. All elements are having a name. Only after that we will apply the classes what we want. Okay. So here also I have to give some name to this. So let's say I'll name it as nav list. And then I'll start applying the styles. First, what we need? Display flex. So deflex. Okay, fine. And these all things are having equal height, so no need to apply align item center and all that. Justify content, though we don't need it. Okay. So now it has become like this. This is what we want, right? This is what we want. Then we can apply some gap in between. Okay, fine. Now what is the next thing that can be done? This thing is having white color background, so no problem. White color background is there. Text are black color. When I put my mouse, it is becoming gray. That means it is hover. So that we can do, right? That is not a problem. Okay. Fine. What else? So first, let us bring this to a proper structure. Then we will apply hover and all. Okay. So we need the gaps. So what can be done for that? For gaps between two elements, what do we apply? Margin. Yes, margin. The meaning of margin is distance between the space between two elements. Okay. Now, how do I apply the margin? How do I apply? So, what is each item? What is that element? Is it H1? Is it H2? What is it? What is home? What element? Huh? Home, about, services. Sorry? Speak. Right, wrong, something. Array, what can you see here? What is this element? I'm asking you what is home, what it about, what is services. Why can't you say? What is this element? Can't you see this?
List.
What is the element? Still now you are not saying. Li. Okay. So to this Li, I have to apply gaps, margins. So what is that Li? How do I select this Li? Do I have any selector for that? I have the parent nav list. So I can go to the CSS and I can do something like this. Dot nav list space li. That means all the children of nav list. And I can apply some margin. What margin should I apply? Do I need any margins on top and bottom? No, only left and right. So first value I'll put it as 0. Second value, how much do you want? 10 px, 20 px, something you can apply. You can apply 20 px. And let's see this. Is it fine? Yes. So we are trying to create a copy of that, so it is fine. Now, what is the next thing that can be done? Hover can be applied, right? Other than that, nothing is to be done here, isn't it? Only that forward thing we can apply. Okay, fine. And if you want to make it a bold text, you can do that. If you want to reduce the font size, that also you can. Okay, so this font maybe is having 16 px. This is looking a little bit less. So what I can do, I can apply some font size also. Font size less than 16. If I apply more than 16 px, it will become more big. So apply, let's say 15 px. Okay, fine. Then we can go on to the hover part. So how do I apply the hover? Dot nav list li colon hover. I want that green color of hover, right? What is the green color? We already have it here. So copy and paste. Now let us see, is it working or not? Just see. Is it working? Okay, everything is working. Fine. Button is not working because on button I didn't apply hover. I'm applying only on this. So fine. Now what is the next thing? On the navbar, what is left? See it then. Is the logo over?
No.
Is the logo is over? Then is this thing over? Then what is left? Say
Button left.
button is left. Okay, why are you not speaking? I don't know. So this button, we have to create this button. Button is there, but it is not proper. What it should have green background, it should have rounded edges, it should have padding, it should have text white color, it should have some gap from the right side also. What is that? That is padding. Okay, so I have to apply all these things. Now, instead of applying the padding to this button, if we apply it to the whole this nav, it is better. Okay, so where else was our nav? The nav was here. This nav contains the UL and the button together, and nav is having UL and the button. In that nav only, if I apply some padding from the right side, the whole thing will move little bit. Okay, so let the nav only. So did I have a class nav here? No nav was there. So just after this, I'll write dot nav and I'll apply some padding. From the top and bottom, do I need padding? No. So padding 0 and then some value. Let's say 15 px or something, or maybe 16 px. Here. Okay, button is looking fine. Now in the button, we need the padding and all. So did I give any name to the button? Because as I told you, we should have a class for everything. Button equal to get started is the class name. On this class, I have to apply the styles. That green color, this, that, and okay. So first thing is background color. I can directly apply this green color. Okay. Then what we need? We need some. You can see the border. There's a border in the button. Okay. That border I don't want actually. I don't want to see that border. Okay. Because if you see here, is there any border? Black border? Nothing is there. Okay. So what I can do is I can remove the border by applying the border property itself. What is to be applied there? Border none. Okay. If I apply this, it will become something like this. Okay. We have started. Okay, this page is not so yeah. Can you see? Then I can apply text white to the button. So after get started, I'll apply text white. It is also done. Now the next thing is padding. So actually it is not like border is not there. Border is there, but it is not visible. Border none means I'm removing the border. But that doesn't mean I cannot apply border radius. Border radius, I can definitely apply. If border radius, what it is doing, it is defining the boundary of that box. Okay. So we are changing the boundary how it will look. Okay. Fine. So padding. How much padding I want? So normally in elements, what we do is any kind of element. If you observe carefully, in the top and bottom, we keep the padding little bit less. Left and right, we always put the padding more. Okay. If you go to any kind of thing, any box, if you see, will have, see this button is having top and bottom padding less. Left and right, padding is more. You see it again? Again, this button. Everywhere that thing happens. Okay. All buttons, all cards, everywhere. On even on the page also. See this testimonials text. It is having less gap from the top part, more gap from the left part, isn't it? So that is what we have to follow while applying padding. Okay. Okay. Fine. So we need some padding here. What is that button? Get started button. Here padding. How much do I apply? Let's say 10 px and 25 px. Top and bottom 10, left and right 20. We got something like this. Button is perfect, but we need the border radius. How much border radius do we apply? So we need very big border radius now. If I apply here border radius 10 px, this will not give us that round box. Okay, so I'll apply more values like 50 px. Only then we get something. Okay, so is our navbar complete? Anything left? We can remove the border. So I'll keep the border for now because I have to make this effect floating effect. I have to give some gap from the top. If I apply a background, it should scroll like this, isn't it? So those things. And when I scroll, it should go to the top and stick, position sticky. Lot of things we saw that day, right? We have to apply those things. Okay. Let us see now what can be done. So I'll keep the border. When I apply this image, at that time I'll remove the border. Okay, fine. Now what has to be done next? So we'll go with the position part. Okay, that changing the position of that nav. So which position we need here? Do we need a relative, absolute, sticky, fixed? What? So we actually need the position fixed. Okay, what we are doing here is at this point you can see it is fixed at that level. And when I scroll, it is becoming going to the top. Again, that is sticky. So let us go with sticky. How do we use the sticky? Do you remember? How do we use the position sticky? Let us see. No worries. First, we'll start with position fixed. How do we apply position fix and fix it at this point? Okay, then we'll go for position sticky. Okay, so let us see what we need to do here. What is that whole box? Whole box is what is the whole navbar? Whole navbar. What is the class?
Navbar.
That is the nav hyphen bar, isn't it? Navbar class. This is the class where we need to apply. So in this navbar, what I'll do is I'll apply another class. Let's say I'll name it as fixed top. This fixed top, I can write the styles here itself, but it will make you confused. That's why I'm creating another one. So fixed top. In the fixed top, what is the position value I need to use? Hello, what is the position value I need to use? The position should be fixed. As the name suggests, position should be fixed. Then what else can be done? The moment I apply position fixed, what will happen? Just see. It has moved to 0, 0 position. Now we have to apply the things, that is what position we want to fix it. So what I'll do is I want some gaps on the top, right? So I'll apply top 20 px. Okay. Then anything else we need? We don't need margin. I apply here left to 0. Wait. This thing is not needed. First, let us see. I applied this. Now, that thing, Z index. If I apply the Z index, see what will happen. Z index, some big value. That day I told you need to write a big value. We can't see anything now, but if I have a background image, at that time you will realize what is this Z index. So let me remove this Z index and let me use an image. Okay, only then we can see the effect, whether it is rolling or not. So let me put it at position fixed, that is fine. Let me go and create another container just after the nav bar and create one, something called give a name, class equal to main banner. Okay, in that main banner I need to apply some image. Dot main banner is the class. What do I apply here? Okay, background image. Background. What is the thing we need to use? URL and then the file name. The file I have already here. This is the file I want to use. So I can directly use it. hero-pg.jpg. Okay. Anything else? And also the background repeat. Otherwise, the image repeats again and again. So background repeat. Background repeat is no repeat. So we get something like what happened. Background URL is hero-pg.jpg. Background repeat is this, and the main banner. Fine. Let's see. Because the image, this main banner, it is not having any height. So it is having a height 0. So image is fixed there itself. That's why we are not. So let us apply some height. Now, when it comes to vertical height, what we do? If it is a small box, we apply some pixel value. Okay. For width, we will always use what I told you, percentage. Always. Only use px only when you 100% you need pixel, only then, but 90% of the time you use percent. But for height, there is no problem. No? In the width, why we are not using px? Because it will become scrollable. If it is on small screen, it will become scrollable on the horizon. But vertical scrolling, is there any problem? No problem is there. We can scroll how much we want. We don't have. We are always scrolling, isn't it? So we can use the px as well. But the thing is, do we know how much px we need? Suppose I want this whole page height, whole browser height. This is a laptop. It is having this much height. If it is a big monitor, big display, it will have this much height. So how do I know? For this monitor, it may be around 800 px height. But if I apply 800 px here, the big monitor, it will show very small. Okay. So for that, we have some other units which will automatically calculate our display size and apply it. Okay. So that unit is known as VH. VH, vertical height. VW is there. Sorry, not vertical height. View height. VH means view height. Actually, this viewport height. This whole display is known as viewport. Okay. This whole display is the viewport. This is the viewport. What is this vertical thing called? It is known as viewport height. This horizontal thing is known as viewport width. Okay. So what I'll apply is I'll apply some height here. So that height, how do we apply? Let's say 100% height. So 100 VH. Okay. Now I can see I'm getting the image. It is not scrollable because it is occupying 100% height. If I apply 50 VH, that means 50% of the viewport height. Now you can see if I apply this, it is looking equal here also, here also. Here also in my display also it is half, here also it is half. But if I apply 100 px, 100 instead of vh, if I apply 100 px, what will happen? It is looking that much there. It may look something different in some other modules. Okay. That's why we should go with VH. So I'll go with 100 VH, no problem. I'm setting it a fixed height, and we are getting this one. Fine. Now what is to be done? Now how do we make this? Now what is happening? Because we are not applying the Z index, what is happening? It is having the background image on the box also, nav bar also. Okay. The moment I apply the Z index on the nav or which one? Nav bar actually, I think, yeah, nav bar. In the nav bar, the moment I apply the Z index, oh, so I already have the class called fixed stop. Here I can apply the Z index. Same thing, if we apply the fixed stop on nav bar, both are same. So Z index from 999 value I'm getting. Now I can, oh, it didn't happen. Okay. So we have to go with the background color as well, I think. Okay, fine, no problem. We'll do something like that. Yeah, we have to apply the background color. Fine. So now see, if I increase this height to 200 px, what will happen? This page will become scrollable. Can you see? Okay, this is becoming scrollable. Okay, fine. Now I apply here. Yeah, so it is fine. Now I apply some background color to this neighbor. Background color is white. Let's see what happens. Okay, now it is looking fine. Yes. Okay, fine. So what do we do? I have to bring this to middle. What do we do for that? I applied margin auto at that time, but that thing is not working now because now I have applied position and changed the position. Okay, so that thing will not work now. So we have to do something else. Okay, okay. So let's see what can be done. We have here position fixed top 20 px. Fine. Okay. We had the zero auto as well. Fine. But it is not working. Then what else we need? Hmm. The body we can't. If I apply something on the body, it will apply to the whole thing. Okay. Yeah. So what I have done here is the nav bar was already there, right? The nav bar is having what is the style it is having? It is having position fixed, top some 20 px gap is there, and we are applying. Very good. And we have seen that because of the position fixed, this margin auto is not working. Margin zero auto testing will work when it is not applied any position. Okay. So this thing is not needed. Now, to achieve this kind of thing, what I did is I created a div which contains the whole navbar. Okay, I have one parent div which is having the whole navbar, and in the flex containers, what we have in flex container we have lot of containers, lot of children. This header is having how many children? Only one. What is that? What is the children? What is the child? Navbar. You are not able to say this. This div parent is having only one child. Okay, you said one, that is correct. But what is that one? Navbar is the child. Okay. So what I do here is I apply display flex and I apply justify content center. What is happening? In the parent, when I have two things and I have two child and I apply justify content center, both the things come to the middle. If I have four items come to the middle. But here, how many items I have? One. That one item is coming to the center. Automatically, it is adjusting the left and right. Okay. So that's how we normally do in other places also. But here it was position fixed. So I thought what would be done. But that is the solution. Okay. So in the parent, I apply display flex and justify content center is bringing to the middle. If I don't have fixed top and all those things, position fixed, margin zero auto is enough. Okay. But if you apply position, with margin, padding, nothing will work. Padding will work, margin will not. Okay, fine. Now let us move on to the next thing. So what I have done is I have increased the page height to show you the scroll behavior. How much height I have applied? I have applied 200 VH, two times my display height. Normally, I don't need to apply that two times. Normally, what I will do, how much height I want, I will apply. Because after that part, so many text will be there, right? Some other things. Automatically, it will become scrollable. When I have more items in the page will automatically scroll, isn't it? Okay, fine. So for the time being, I have put it like this. Now can I remove that border? I don't need that, right? So I'll go to the, was it in the nav bar? Yes, this one. Yeah. Save it, reload. This is what we get. Okay. So if the background is of dark color, it will look nice. What is happening here? It is having light color, so the white is overlapping. Okay. So what you can do? For the time being, you can apply that green color border. What was that green color? This one. Instead of black, and apply green color like this. It will have. Okay. So this green looks, it is matching with the theme. Okay. It is better than black. So for the time being, I have to. When you have the darker, so this image is having some gray color shade. You see. So that kind of image, if you have, then you can. Okay. And one day we'll even see how to convert this image to this image. A gray layer is applied. Okay, that's why it is good. We'll see that later. For that, we need some more properties. So now, what is the next thing we want to try with display flex? I hope you are comfortable with display flex now. Yeah. So we'll go for this one. This banner, some banner is there. These are something like brands. Okay, I'll make one div called brands. So let me make a div called brand. So in the index, just after the main banner, I'll have one div class is equal to brands, and I'll remove this 200 VH. Instead, I'll put 100. Okay, fine. In the brands, I need images. Where do I get this image? I'll just download this. Okay, I'll use the same images, and I'll put it in the same folder where our project is there. So let us see where is our project. I'll put it here. I'll save all of them. How many images we have? 6. Okay. So Flex will automatically adjust what should be the width, what should be the gap, and all those things. Okay. Now let us see one thing. In this page, if you observe carefully, at what point this logo is starting, we had applied 85% width, right? Right. And if you observe carefully, this banner is also starting at that point. This part is also starting it from that part. That means we need an equal gap from all things. Correct? Again, if you see, this is also starting at that point. This one is having more gap. We'll see what to do there. We'll apply more padding or something. And then discard also. See. Everything is starting from there. So what we did for there? What did we do for there? We applied with 85%. So we will maintain that on the whole page. Everywhere we'll apply 85%, 85%. Okay. So that the lines will align. Okay. Fine. This is one way. This is not the best way. Normally, the best way is you create one box. The whole box will have 85% weight. Okay. And then you put whatever you want in there. So we don't need to write 85, 85, 85 again and again. Now I'll do 85, 85, 85 again and again. Okay. But you have to try with a big box, which will have 85% width, and then you apply the things inside. Okay. Fine. Now let us see. So we'll go to this banner. So what name I have given to this? I have given it as brands. Inside the brands, I'll have some divs. This divs, how many divs I have? 6. In the brands, I can apply directly dflex because it is the parent. Display flex and justify content. We'll see what we need. Okay, we'll not apply the justify content now. So let us create the divs. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What will be there? One image. What is that image? Client1.png, client2.png, like that. Client-1.png. So Actually, I'll make copy of this. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now let us see how does it look like. Already flex is there, but it is looking like this. The images are having big widths. Okay, so we'll apply small width. What width we can apply? If they are having 54 something. Okay, so I'll set some width to these images. So what is it? Inside the brands, I have images. Okay. Dot brands img width is, let's say, 50 px. It has become too small. Okay. Let me check first. What was the previous value? It was having 400. Okay. Okay, fine. This is fine. Now we need the gaps. What we do for the gaps? First, I need the whole gap. I want the whole container to be 85%. Okay. See, this here it is looking different. I'm not doing that. Actually, we can do this also. Okay, let me show you how to do this. The whole thing is gray color. Can you see? Whole thing is gray color. So we need a parent container. This is a big div. Inside that, the small div, which will have only 85% width. And then in that 85% width, we will apply display flex and justify content space between. Okay, this is no space around because if this is the border, there is no space between with that border. If we need space here, we need space around. But here we apply space between. So let me do that. So what I'll do, before these brands, I'll have, or else I can create something like this. Div brands container. Okay, brands container is the big box, which will have gray color background. So I'll apply bg gray. So this class I have to declare there. In that class, I have to apply background color gray like that. Okay. So inside this, what will happen? This whole brands will come. This brands will have width 85%. Okay, now let's see. So where is this brand container? Brands container, right? In that brands container, I have a BG gray. BG gray. BG gray will have background color as some light gray. I'll adjust it from here. Okay. So what am I having? I'm having some gray panel. Can you see? Now what is to be done? Here we have this branch container. Okay, branch is deflex applied, and then justify content between. That will apply justify content space between. Looking like this. But what happened? We didn't apply the width 85% to the inner box. What is the inner box? Brands. Outer box is brands container. Brands container is having gray color background. Inner box is brand. So in this brands, I'll apply width. We already have the brands. Yeah. Width 100. Okay. Dot brands. I'll apply width as what? 85%. We got it. But what is the issue? Let's see. So see here. Here I am having display flex justify content between. So what is the issue? Branch container, PG gray, display flex. So on this PG gray, it is occupying the width. So how many child this branch container is having? Branch container one. When there is only one child, how do we know how to center it? Previous case, what we did, one child was there. We have to make it in the center. What we did, we applied header t flex justify content center. Okay, same thing if I apply to the brands, which is having how many child? One. If I apply it here, it will automatically bring it to the center like this. Okay, fine. Now we need some gap from top bottom, all those things, some padding we need. So just directly on this branch container, I can apply some padding. So where is that branch container? It is not created. Okay, I'll create some padding. Or shall I create the padding for branch? Okay, I'll create it for branch container. So dot branch container will have padding as from the top. So from the left and right, I don't want any kind of padding because already width and all I have set. Okay, so padding, let's say 10 px and 0 I'm applying. Okay. But there is some extra gap. We'll see that why that is happening. You can see the items, the flex items here, they are all moving to the top. You see, it is not in the center. It is going to top, all are going to top. It is not coming to the bottom of. So we need to apply align item center so that it will vertically adjust the items. So where we will apply that? On this container, on the branch container, not on the branch container. We have branch container and we have branch. On the branch, we have to apply it. So in the branch, I'll apply align items center. See this now? Everything is adjusted. Okay, fine. Now let us move on. And we can see, let me now increase the, okay, let me have some more text here. How do I do that? Okay, I'll just make a copy of this. And just to show you the scroll behavior. See, I have a lot of things, but I want to show you this. Now they are in the same language. Right? Yeah. Okay, fine. Now what is the next thing we need to do? Oh. What we need now? After this, we have a big panel. Okay. Again, it is having some less big. So we'll have a big box. Then we'll apply another box which is having 85%. And then we have to divide it into two parts. How do we divide it into two parts? The two boxes will apply with 50%, 50%. Okay. Otherwise, what will happen? Actually, if you look, this box is actually small. That box is big. Okay. This part is having less text. Widthwise, that text is more. So what will happen? If I apply justify content space between, again there will be a gap in. So what we'll do, we'll set the width at 50%, 50%. After applying 85% to parent, we'll apply 50-50 to. Then we will adjust. Let's see what can be done. Okay. So let us take this part. So what name I want to give to this part? Let's say this is something like page content, or I'll name it as features or something. Yeah. Details. I'll name it as details box. Okay. I'll create a details box here. Just after the branch container, I have one details box. Okay. Inside the details box, what I'll have? So inside the detail box, if the moment I create it as div, it will have 100%. Inside that, one another box which will have 85%. Okay. So I'll name it as details container. Can I name it as like so div okay details container is a div. In this details container, I'll apply. So the moment I apply details 85% to details container, it will move to that side. Again, I have to bring it to the center. What is the parent? Details. How many child it is having? One. So that means I can apply this d flag justify content center to the parent, to the details box. And here I'll apply the 85% width. So details container. So we'll go to the details container. Details width 85%. Okay, fine. Then what we need? The container is ready, 85% width is applied, it is already centered, justify content center. Now we need inside the details container, we need two boxes width of width 50% each. So inside the details container, I'll create two boxes. Okay. So what is this class equal to? This is details. So I'll name it as detail. Okay, singular. Okay. Class equal to detail. Okay. So in these boxes will have directly 50%. Dot detail is with 50%. 50% of what? 50% of the parent. Okay. 50% of the parent. Parent is having with 85%. So 50% of 85. 50 of 85. Okay. Fine. Now what is to be done? Inside the detail, we have some text. So this is, I'll just put some header. Okay. So H1, I'll put this text inside the first detail box, H1, some text. Then we have some paragraph kind of thing. After the H1, I'll have paragraph and I have this text. Well, adjust the font size. That is not a problem. We'll do that. And in the next detail box, what we have? Again, we have paragraph. Okay. These ticks we can't display now. Okay. We need, you know about before, after, pseudo class, pseudo elements. Okay. Using that before, after, you can. So using before, you can do this. But for that, you need the image. This tick image we need, and we can apply the before. We'll see that. First, let us do it without that. First, let us make the alignment. Then we'll see what customization we can. Okay. Fine. So paragraph is there. Then we have some UL align. Okay, I'll name it. I'll put it as UL align. So UL align. First one is this one. Then next one, and this. And the third one, we have this. Okay. Fine. After you will align, again we have some paragraph. After you will have a paragraph. Okay, done. Now, how is this looking like? Let us see. It is looking like this. So I think those display flex and all are not applied. Let's see what is happening. So the thing is, because of the width, detail is width 50%. This is also 50%. Okay. So there is a small problem here. The problem is when we use 50%, 50%, we need to apply something called margin to both of them, negative margin, okay, because of which it is not aligning. Okay, then what can be done? If I don't do that, if I don't apply the width 50%, so here if I apply margin minus 2px, it will work directly. Okay. Oh, what happened? Let me check what has happened. This is the detail. Okay. Details container is this. Detail is this. Okay. Fine. And is the details. Oh, so I didn't apply a display flex to the details container. The parent should have deflex. Only then they will come side by side. Otherwise, how they will come side by side, isn't it? So let me go to their container. What is their parent? The parent of detail is details container. So in the details container, I applied width 85%. Okay, I can directly write deflex here. Deflex. Save it, and we got it. Okay, fine. Now we need to check what we need to do next. So the text is coming. We'll see the text font size. Very okay. We need gap. What do we do? If I don't apply with 50%, as I told you, the boxes will, one box will be small, one box will be big. Okay. Let us see what will happen if I don't apply that with 50%. So if I comment this, I do nothing like this. Okay. Do we need this kind of thing? No. So this with 50% is necessary. But we need some gap, that means we need some padding in the boxes. Okay. From the top also we need some gap. From the left and right, from the from the top I'll apply. So for this box I'll not apply from the left. For this box I'll not apply from the right because already gap is there. We need for the first box where are the paddings we need? Top and right. Yeah. We need the top gap, right gap, bottom gap. Okay. For the depth of top gap, left gap, bottom, not the right. For this, not the left. Okay. So let us apply that. So this one is detail, but we need to give a name. First and second. Okay. So for the first, what do I do? Dot first. So yeah. Adding from the top, let's say 30 px. Left, I can apply 20 px or 15 px because 15 of this box and 15 of that box will be there. It will become 30 in between. Okay, 15 px. Then bottom again, I should apply 30 only. Top and bottom we should have equal. And from the right, I'll put 0. Okay. Dot second. So padding. Top is 30 px. Right, no need. For the second box, right padding not needed. Bottom again 30 px and left 15 px. We got something like this now. Okay, this is better than the previous one, right? Fine. Now what can be done? Now we can adjust the font size and okay. So what we need this kind of big fonts. So what is this font size? This is 48 px. So what is our detail? Inside the detail first. Inside first we have one h1. So dot first h1 will have font size 48 px. Okay, then the next text, this is also big. It is having font size 24 px. Dot first p font size 24 px. Okay, fine. What about this one? These are normal text. We don't need to increase the font size. Okay, and this li is getting some tick kind of thing, right? So can we inspect this? This is an icon. So from somewhere they are putting an icon. So what I'll do, I'll use one image. Okay. So I'll go to, let's say, we'll go to Bootstrap and pick one image from there. There are icons are there, lot of icons. So I'll just search one icon and I will download it. Okay. Now you are not familiar with Bootstrap, right? So I'll not use any kind of complex things here. I'll just search tick or check. It is known as check. Any check marks are there. Yeah. This kind of image I can use. So check all. I'll download the SVG, and once I download it, I can put it in the image SRC directly. Okay, it will work. So in the Word, sorry. Yeah, we got the check all SVG. Okay, this I can use it here. Okay. So in the LI, what I'll do? What is that LI? Where is that LI? UL is in the second box, right? In the second dot second li colon before is there. Okay, in that before we have something called content. The property is there, and inside the content we write URL, and in that URL I'll put check all the SVG. Let us check whether this is working or not. Are we getting it? Fine. Yes, we are getting it. So this is how you can set it. Okay. And it is having black color, but we want something green color. We know the color code. Yes. So this way we can even edit this SVG code. Okay. This is not an image. This is an SVG file. So here there is a fill property. Fill attribute is there. Current color. We have to change that current color. What is that color? We know the color. This one. Copy and go to checkout.svg, paste it here with a hash. Okay. Now what will happen? If I reload my page, did I get a green color? Fine. Okay. So wait. So now we need some gap between these files, right? So in that UL, I'll apply some margin top and bottom. So it is our UL. In the second, we have an UL, right? Dot second UL, apply margin 10 px 0. 10 px from top and bottom, or let me put it 20 px and 0. Fine, you got it. Okay. And anything else we need? Is everything fine? Accordingly, you can increase the font size, all those things, no problem. Okay, whatever you want. Okay. Second, you will fine. Everything is fine. Margin padding, if you need more gaps, you can apply. That is fine. That is not a big deal. Okay. So I'll end the class here for today. Then we'll continue with the other things in the next class. So here, yeah, that's what you need to practice. Okay. Never image we have seen, this bar and these things. Okay. The main thing comes when we need to center something, create gap, all those things. Okay. If you are confident with that, you can cover those things. Okay. Now next we will see in the next class how to do this one, because here the width, the gap is more. So what they are doing here? Here also they are having the so here the whole thing is green color. So that means there is no width 85%. Whole panel they are using. Okay. And then they are applying some space, evenly space around something. Okay. So we'll create like something. Fine. So these are all. This is very easy. Just 4 boxes they are creating. One box is having more height and applying align item center. Nothing else. No more styles. Only let's align item center. That's it. Okay, then we'll end the class here for today. We'll see more things in the next session.